and now take sole possession of first place in the terrible NFC East. And according to our analytics, they have close to a 60% chance to walk away division champions. So now let's sit back and take a look at the division in its entirety. And the biggest issue the Dallas Cowboys have had has been turnovers. They keep turning the football over. But Rob Ninkovich said that he knows what Bill Belichick would do to solve that problem immediately. Rob, the floor is yours.
So Bill Belichick, after one fumble, would have walked over to the training staff, grabbed a pair of scissors, and walked over to Zeke and cut off his sleeves. Because if you hold the football in your arm, if you hold the ball like this and you have a sleeve on, you know how easy it is to knock that out? You have no grip right here. If you're a running back or a receiver, you don't wear sleeves. That's like just, you know that. Rule number one, don't wear sleeves, because ball security is your number one rule. As a running back, secure the football. The fate of the team is in your hands. Bill Belichick would have, before he went out on that field, would have said, take off those sleeves. What are you doing? After the first fumble, he would have walked over and cut him off. After the second, I was yelling at the television, take his sleeves off. Take his sleeves off. If I was a defender going against a running back, if it was cold outside and they had sleeves on, take the ball off him. Punch it out. Strip it out. He can't hold on to the ball with sleeves.
What do you think, RC?
No, that's exactly right. That's the first thing I said when I was asked this question on my first call for the Monday show was, why is he wearing sleeves? On so many different teams, the running backs aren't allowed to wear sleeves. The running backs or anyone that carries the ball can't wear sleeves, because Rob's exactly right. You can punch the ball out. The ball slips. It's easier to pull and tug on it and force fumbles. What I was really expecting Rob to say was, after the first fumble, he was going to cut the sleeves off. Then after the second one, he'd cut his arms off. Like, that's the type of Bill Belichick stories I was expecting. Because you know what? When Mike McCarthy put Pollard in, that was like cutting off Ezekiel Elliott's arms. That was saying to you, you know what? You can't do this anymore. But what this team is experiencing is the exact same thing that New Edition was experiencing when they fired Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is gone. Your charismatic leader is gone. Can Johnny Gill step up and do the job? Can Bill DeVoe do what they need to do? And the backup singers weren't doing what they need to do on Monday. And the leader of that group is Ezekiel Elliott. So if he's fumbling and he's now taking accountability for it, you got to come out and play better this week. And that better be without sleeves underneath your shoulder pads.
Speaking of taking accountability, Bart Scott, I've not had you here this entire week, and it's been a lot of talk about the anonymous sources in the Cowboys locker room, and their defense has been so bad. I'm just curious to hear what your thoughts have been on that.
I mean, whenever we would have these situations in Baltimore, the anonymous sources, we would call that, I smell diesel fuel, because that means that somebody's backing the bus over somebody else. And in this case, it was Mike McCarthy and it was Mike Nolan. And I think, listen, that's cowardice, right? First of all, if you have something to say, and I think it was a lot of coded language when you heard Mike McCarthy say, come talk to me and talk to me as a man. Because we're grown-ups now. This isn't high school. This isn't college. This is professional football. And men have conversations, tough conversations with each other. I don't care if it's my coach or not. If I had an issue with what was going on with Mike Nolan or what was going on with what we're running, listen, it was real easy to be a front runner when, Dak Prescott was putting up 500 yards. But now that, the offense, he could coach then, right? But listen, every time you have a new coach, and I'm sure when Tomlin came in, Ryan had to deal with it as well. I had it with Harbaugh. You're always going to hit a tough spot. Right, but adversity doesn't define character; it reveals it. And the Cowboys reveal what type of character they have. They have a lot of front-running, cowardice football players, and they're not smart. Right? So you talk about Mike Nolan. I've been around Mike Nolan, and one thing I know about Mike Nolan is he's always prepared, overly prepared. He's the defense coordinator responsible for turning the Ravens into a 3-4 defense. So he has the answers to the test, but he doesn't have enough players with football acumen to be able to take what he's teaching and be able to apply it on the football field.
We may have to come back to that one because I have other things I need to get to, but that is I can see the look on RC's face. That is an interesting thought. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.